Hello, hello, I'm back with another video, and tonight we're going to answer random questions through a website on the internet, generating random question, random open-ended question, and this is my way of honing my skills, English speaking skills, and question and answer skill. Because yes, part of honing the left hemisphere is speaking and also logical skills, and I think answering questions directly from the mouth and directly from when they are asked um, is very integral in the logical function of our brain. I believe so, because just by speaking you need to structure your sentences properly in a sense that they are in the right grammar and they are pronounced correctly, and if your answer is correct critically, and so on and so forth. So let's start. What's your going to bed routine? Of course, this is a generation of habit, and technology has really embedded itself within us. That's why my common answer is social media, of course. Social media is my way of this. Actually, the last thing I do before I sleep is scroll on social media, and I don't know why. It's just a virtual world, and it almost does not have connection or reality. But I do it anyway, and I don't know why. You know, something like that. Like, you know that something is irrelevant, something is wrong, but you do it anyway, and I don't know why, to be honest. And um, shunning away from social media, cutting it off in my life is one of the things that I cannot do. But I always try to do, for example, I always try to deactivate my Twitter account, but still coming back to it. But then now I also deactivated it again. And one day has passed, and I hope so that I won't reactivate it again. I want to get rid of Twitter because it's toxic, to be honest. And so, yes, aside from Twitter, Messenger, Facebook, and so on and so forth, I believe this is very toxic because using cell phones, technologies, social media, the web takes up so much of my time that I devote so much time on it instead of my study. That's why I really want to cut it off in my life. Yeah, because it's very irrelevant. It does not actually have connection to what I want to achieve in my life. I'm going to drink water. Next question is, what's expensive but totally worth it? I really think books. It's very worth it, especially if it's a requirement for education here in college. For example, I always make an effort of um, binding books, printing books, reference books in class, in the class, and binding them, because of course we must invest in education, because at the end of the day when we graduate it will be worth it, because education is also an investment in the future. And yes, I think buying books in general, even if it's not educational, even if it's not a reference book, personally I think it's very worth it. Why? Because you could escape the world. I think it's, to be honest, I think it's better to spend so much time on reading books, just like when I did when I was in high school, than to waste and squander so much time on social media. Because for example, when you read books instead of scrolling through social media posts, you get to enhance your imagination, you get to expand your vocabulary, you get to think critically, because part of reading is thinking critically. Part of reading is thinking critically, processing the words, for example. That's why I really had a hard time, for example, when I entered college, because there are a lot of readings and I could not understand them um, when I read them in one go. That's why I always stop and process every paragraphs, even sentences again and again in order to inculcate it inside my mind. And why is that? Because I stopped reading around when I was in grade 11, 12, and yeah, I stopped reading, and I really regretted it, because reading also is very important as much as speaking. That's why maybe the result of brain dominance. The result of brain dominance um, on my part is true because although I love reading, I love speaking, I love writing, I believe I'm not really that good with them. So yes, so maybe yes, maybe brain dominance is not a myth. Joe, next question. What gets progressively weirder the more you think about it? Pass. I don't have something inside my mind. What's something you learned recently that you really should have already known? I think it's a life lesson. It's spending your time properly, wisely, because there is 24 hours in a day, there is 24 hours in a day, but you waste it on what? Cell phones, on cell phones, on social media, on irrelevant and inconsequential things when you could have spent them with things that matter. So yes, that's the very important thing that I always keep on forgetting. Yes, I always keep on forgetting that particular fact. Even though I try to inculcate it at the back of my mind, it just stays at the back of my mind. That's why it's never applied. Almost never applied. But yes, I just when I do things, spend I already spend for example I already spent my time wasting when I already wasted my time, that's only when I realized that I'm wasting my time. That's when the regret happens. That's also one of the things that I want to change, to think before doing something, not doing something and think. I'm the opposite kasi. So yes, last question. I hope this better be good. Yes, this is quite lengthy. Know thyself is an ancient concept going back much further than Socrates and is at the root of much philosophy. With that in mind, what are the most important things to learn about oneself? Where is all self-knowledge equal? Um, I think the most important thing that you need to know about yourself are is your mistakes, your mistakes and your mistakes and weaknesses, because they are very integral in holding you as a person, in making you a better person. Yes, that's why I always, maybe that's why I get um low spirited easily, because I always try to seek what's wrong with me, what's the mistakes I've made, etc. That's why I easily get disappointed. But personally, I hope this does not have grave consequences on my mental health. But personally, I think that being aware of your mistakes, of your weaknesses, would be very integral in holding you as a person, because it means that when you know it, you could make yourself a better person and achieve what you want to be, the ideal self that you're imagining. Because you you cannot treat something a weakness without aiming for something greater, right? So yes, knowing your weaknesses, your mistakes are very important. Is very important. So yes. Bye. That's all. Thank you.